A very good morning to one and all. Welcome to the online FDP on ICT tools for teaching, learning, and evaluation process. Today we are in day 5 and we are going to discuss about virtual programming lab and a look through over virtual lab and MHRD initiative. This virtual programming lab is intended to give practice exercises for students, which is a replica of your lab courses. So let's get on to it. Let's start with virtual programming lab. Hope you have logged into your Moodle and let's go. Go to your Moodle courses. I select FDP on Moodle LMS. Move to day 5 and select add an activity or resource. From the list of activities to be displayed, select Virtual Programming Lab and just go through these features. Virtual Programming Lab, this module will allow you to write the program source code and students can run interactively the programs in the browser, and then you can run tests to review the programs, right? So I'm selecting add. The activity gets added in day 5 and now I need to give the name. See, I'm giving swapping two numbers. Here I have given in full description. You need to give the steps to do that particular program. See here I already given initialize to variable, give the value of x as 10, y as 5 and swap the numbers, and here I'm giving a sample input, say x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 5, and the desired output should be x is equal to 5 and y equal to 10. This part wherein I give the sample input, I can give it as test cases. This tells the students that my desired output or the output what I expect should be in this format. Maybe if you want, you can give it like this also. So, say test cases sample input, I can give it as enter the value of x and y. Likewise you can give, which means the student has to print this statement also while he is running his program. Okay, so I just to keep it simple I leave it like this. And then moving on to the next part, you need to select the submission period. The submission period, here I have the due date, that is the date of completion. Let me have it as 17 July. Okay, if you select show more, it gives you two options. One is the starting date of your assignment and one is ending date. If you want, you can enable this. And as of now I'm enabling only this column, that is the due date in which it has to be completed. And then I'm moving on to submission restrictions. Here you can mention the restrictions related to your file submission. I have specified the maximum number of files a student can submit is 1, and the type of work, it can be an individual work or a group work. Here I have mentioned it as individual work. And if you click on show more option, you have a few other options. Disable external file load, upload, paste and drop external content. While you enable this option as yes, what happens is this will prevent the student from copying and pasting the content from the internet. So you always have this option as yes. Okay, so this activity acts as an example. You should make this as no, because if this is going to be an example, then you won't be able to evaluate that. Okay, and file upload size. You can have restrictions on the size of the file to be uploaded. The main reason to have a maximum file upload size is sometimes the programs may execute with the shorter lines of code. That is, within very few lines of code, the program would be able to run. So some students would be using multiple lines of program, that is a longer program. So to restrict that, you can have a selected file size. Okay, so it is an option only. And password, here I enter a password to restrict students from the other classrooms to enter this. So the students who's being given permission to access this classroom will be allowed to take up the exam. So I'm setting a password, and here this SEB browser, this option helps you to tell if a student is opening one more browser while taking up an exam. Okay, so as of now I'm not enabling all this. Here grade I can have it as grade point or grade scale, and maximum grade point I am setting here it as 10. You can have any maximum value up to 100, and the rest of all we need not worry about. This is the common module setting and restrict access and so on, but as of now I leave all that. Now I'm going to save and return to course. So my course is listed here. When I select this, I can see the details. Initialize two variable x and y, the steps that I have given, the sample input and so on, and the grade setting, type of work, all these details will be listed here. Now we will go on to the next option, select this and go to test cases. Here you need to give the evaluation criteria. I give case is equal to swapping two numbers. This is the, see the, it changes. This is the, this is going to be the input part. So see the changes the color. This is the keyword. Case is equal to swapping two numbers. Input equal to 10 and 5. Output equal to 5 and 10. So I give, this is how the system is going to evaluate. It will look out whether the student has entered an input of 10 and 5, and it will check whether the student has got an output of 5 and 10. Okay, so I just click on save. It will get saved, and then come back to your swapping of two numbers, and we will go on to the next thing. Click on this option, go to execution option. In this execution option, your first thing is based on what category. See here, I already given, I have several other programs that I have already worked upon. So if you want, you can, if you want to refer to the existing program, you can give that. But as of, you need not do anything, just give select run script. Yeah, this here, the student is flexible to write the code in any language. Here you have a set of languages. Okay, but if you insist the student to write the coding in a particular language, say C, C++ or Java or something, then you can mention that particular program. Else you can just give it as autodidact. Enabling this as autodidact lets the student to code it in any language to his convenience, right? And then here you want to run it, yes. Evaluation should be done, yes. Evaluate on submission is immediately once the student submits. If you want to evaluate, then you can give it as yes or else no. So I give it as no. Automatic grade, so I gave the grade point as 10. So if you want the system to grade it automatically based on the result, you can select this as yes. Okay, so now I give save options. Options have been saved. So go to swapping two numbers. Now you see what happens here. Your entire details are being written and your test cases are there, right? So this is one way of writing your virtual programming lab source code. Okay, let me go on to one more example, right? In the next video, let me explain to you one more example with 2 or 3 test cases. Here we have written only one test case. I will tell you an example wherein you are going to get an input from the user and then evaluate with 2 or 3 test cases. That will be in the next example.